Hey guys, this is Cap Coldblood. I'm back for another day of the Star Wars Challenge. Now, before I go any further, this happened with the last two videos. I've been getting behind. I've been trying to focus a bit more on my college education, so my apologies that these are a few days late. Today I'll be covering what I should have covered on the 5th of November, which would be our favorite droid from the Star Wars universe. Now, I know there are a lot of droids out there. We were first introduced to R2-D2 and C-3PO. Really, they were the first characters we ever saw in Star Wars that were droids. And then there are other characters such as IG-88, the IG-86 Sentinel droids showcased in the Clone Wars television show. My favorite droid is a bit unorthodox, and I think a lot of you will be a bit surprised you didn't think of him this way. But my favorite droid has to be General Grievous. Now, there's a huge, long-running joke, if you've been in the Star Wars fandom for quite a while, that Grievous hates being called a droid. Even in the Galaxy of Heroes mobile game, it says he hates being called a droid, but he counts as one in combat. So he's not just any normal droid. General Grievous was first introduced in the Clone Wars television show, the very first one, released in 2005, and that little, probably 2.5 hour long cartoon I watched recently, and he was portrayed kind of like a Darth Vader style character, voiced by John DiMaggio. He was a very effective Jedi killer. He killed everyone except Aayla Secura and Ki-Adi-Mundi in that television show. He also killed several other Jedi, leaving only Shaak Ti to defend the Chancellor, at which point the Chancellor was captured. And then it rolled over into the events of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. So people understood General Grievous before that point, and then they saw Episode 3. And Grievous in Episode 3 was my first contact with him, really, aside from the LEGO Star Wars video game. I always thought he was cool. It was a white robot with a cape and a guy with 4 lightsabers and 4 arms who could do somersaults backwards. If you played the LEGO Star Wars video game, you remember Grievous could somersault backwards instead of doing a backflip. So really, General Grievous was one of the more interesting characters I ever ran into. Like I said, I loved his lightsabers, and when I actually heard about him through the movie, I loved his character, I loved his voice, I loved the whole broken warrior storyline. He eventually had to consign himself to this armor to survive, and I love all of the attention he gets in the Clone Wars television series, because if you remember in Episode 3, he gets a few scenes. We only see him fight once, and that is with Obi-Wan towards the end on Utapau in the famous Hello There scene. But he fights in an interesting manner. The classic blade twirling that he's known for, that sound you hear when he is fighting you, is always wonderful to see. And in the Clone Wars series, one of the things I'm most thankful for is they got the original voice actor from the films to do the voice acting in the Clone Wars television show produced by, I believe, Cartoon Network. That's always a big thing for me. I know Grievous didn't really catch on with the fandom much because they kind of rewrote him. They didn't know what they wanted to do with him, so at first they made him kind of a Darth Vader Jedi killer style character, and then they evolved him into a droid general who has a bit of a cowardly side to him. I won't say that he's not a coward, because in certain ways he is. He's dishonorable, but Grievous is such an enjoyable character. He's a military genius. If he's a little flippant with how he spends his resources, he's a military genius, and the fact that Grievous gets such a bad rap really doesn't sit well with me. I mean, this guy has a collection of lightsabers. He longs to kill Jedi. But the point is, throughout the entirety of the Clone Wars television show, he never meets Anakin. Grievous never meets Anakin because of the one line, and Anakin Skywalker, I was expecting someone with reputation to be a little older. So he had never even seen a hologram of Anakin before, so therefore that ruled Anakin out of fighting Grievous, because Anakin would win and probably kill Grievous at one point, because Anakin's not like Obi-Wan. The only Jedi that Grievous really fought and lost against were Obi-Wan, and the one time that he lost to Ahsoka, because she was still a new character and they wanted to solidify how cool she was, so she was able to beat General Grievous once. But Grievous killed dozens, if not hundreds, of Jedi, much fewer than Darth Vader did. But if you watch the original Clone Wars cartoon, which I did about a year ago, you see General Grievous was planned to be this incredibly powerful character. that really nobody could stand up to. Like I said, he had a collection of lightsabers. He was able to kill dozens of Jedi, Masters, Padawans, Knights. That's the thing. He studied all of the Jedi's arts and perfected them. So really, only by luck was Obi-Wan able to kill him on Utapau. And he was a brilliant strategist, a strong warrior, a wonderful antagonist to have throughout the Clone Wars. And even Grand Admiral Thrawn, a man I talked about earlier, recognized that and kept his head in his personal collection of art. Not a lot of people know that, or it's not mentioned very prominently, but he has General Grievous's head from Utapau. He went there himself, grabbed the head, and took it with him, and keeps it on the Chimera, his Star Destroyer. And he has Grievous's head sitting there, because he was a brilliant tactician, but then it went to show that, you know, the most brilliant tactics can be taken down by a lucky blaster shot. So, General Grievous is one of my favorite characters. He's definitely my favorite droid. He's one of the most interesting characters in Star Wars. Most of the time when I watch Revenge of the Sith, I watch it for Grievous. When I watch Clone Wars episodes, when I go through the series again, just looking for random episodes to watch because I want to eat lunch over it, I see the episodes with either the clones or General Grievous, because Grievous' voice is incredible. I love it so much. His fighting style is awesome, and he's just an enjoyable character to watch. I really wish he fought more Jedi. I really wish they'd made him fight more than Kenobi, because Grievous lost to Kenobi and Kenobi lost to Grievous. It was kind of back and forth, and finally Kenobi was able to kill him. But really, we only see him fight Obi-Wan. And you see him fight Eth Koth, yes, but that's one fight. And we see him almost completely defeat Obi-Wan in several instances, and people say Grievous is a bad villain? He's terrible, he can't fight? He's killed dozens, if not hundreds, of Jedi throughout the entire period of the Clone Wars. If you remember the game that's now legend, Star Wars Republic Commando, in every mission, or in the first mission, in Geonosis, after you kill Sun Fac, if you stay at that position long enough, if you look at where you shot, where Sun Fac was flying, you'll see Grievous' ship, the Soulless One, fly away. And, you know, what ship was that? And your advisor says, I don't know, I'll check the logs. Then you see him on Kashyyyk. Really, he's been fighting the entirety of the Clone Wars, about 3.5 years. He's killed dozens, if not hundreds, of Jedi. I know you're tired of me saying that, but I want to hammer that home to any of you who really don't prefer General Grievous. I'm not going to make you love him, but I'm going to tell you exactly, you know, how terrible and dangerous he is. He's a force to be reckoned with, and I absolutely love the ever-living daylights out of his character. So, really, when it comes to, like, IG-88's a cool droid, 4-LOM is a cool droid. I knew a lot about the bounty hunters before I knew about other ones, because I played the Lego Star Wars video game first. So, if I had to pick my favorite droid, it would be General Grievous. And now, for those of you that might think, you know, favorite droid would be the favorite type of droid, I'm going to include this just a little bit because that's not really the focus of the video, but my favorite line of droid would have to be the Super Battle Droid. That droid is just incredible. It's tall, it's intimidating. I was recently able to play the Battlefront 2 2017 beta. Playing as a Super Battle Droid is incredibly fun. You know, everybody loves B1s, everybody loves droidicas, but I prefer the Super Battle Droid, especially with the wrist rockets. So, that's my favorite line of droid, the B2, Super Battle Droid. But, yeah, that's really all I have to say for today, guys. I will have episodes 6 and 7, day 6 and 7 up today because it is November 7th, and I am a little bit behind. So, again, my apologies, as my life is constantly changing, and I can't always get an episode uploaded on time. I've been pretty busy these last few days. So, I'll be here for the next few days, and we'll cover the next topic then. See you guys later.